The bottom line here, though, is that Bernie does have the clearest path to the nomination at this point. 538 continues to put his odds of taking the nomination as the highest odds, about 2 in 5. They say that no majority is still at 2 in 5. They've got Biden at 1 in 9 and Bloomberg down at 1 in 50. So Sanders was the front runner last night. And was Sanders attacked like the front runner? The answer, of course, is no, he was not. At the very beginning of the debate, they had a big debate in South Carolina. The first, 10 minutes of the debate, people started trying to launch attacks on Bernie. Now, the biggest problem with launching an attack on Bernie, if you are a Democrat, is the problem that a lot of Republicans had launching attacks on Trump. What's the angle exactly? What's the angle? Now, with Trump, you could try and attack him from the right. You could say that he wasn't right-wing enough. He wasn't sort of hewing the line enough on various conservative issues, that he was a newcomer on the abortion issue, that he was a newcomer on the immigration issue. But Trump was willing to say whatever extreme thing he had to say in order to shore up the base. And Bernie, it's sort of the same thing. The attacks on Bernie that are going to damage him in a general election come from his right. But the base is not significantly to Bernie Sanders' right, or at least they appear not to be. They appear to be willing to fall for his lie that Medicare for all means that you get to keep your doctor. They appear to be willing to fall for his lies that he's going to come up with $60 trillion to pay for all of this stuff. They appear to be willing to go along with his ridiculous heresy. So that means that most of the attacks on Bernie last night sort of fell flat because Bernie and his perspective are indeed fairly popular inside the Democratic Party. And as Bernie gains credence as a national presidential candidate, people are willing to shunt aside their fears and simply jump on board the bandwagon. The only person last night, there are only 2 people last night who really tried to take it to Bernie in any serious way. It really was Bloomberg and Buttigieg. Biden really didn't try to take it to Sanders in any serious way. Warren, honestly, I'm shocked at how bad these folks are at debate. I am shocked at it. Elizabeth Warren last night was going out of her way to attack Bloomberg while leaving Bernie alone because she clearly wants the VP slot from Bernie. And I'm just shocked that Bloomberg didn't say that straight out. Really, I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised that when Warren was attacking Bloomberg, Bloomberg didn't say, listen, Elizabeth, I know that you were the front runner in this race for a short period of time, and then Bernie ate your lunch, and now you're desperately hoping to be Bernie's vice president. I get all of that, but I don't understand why you're attacking me. That's not going to make you Bernie's vice president. Right? It would have been devastating for her. But Bloomberg, nobody is willing to call anybody out except for Bloomberg, because Bloomberg's the safe territory. He's a billionaire. He used to be a Republican. And so it's easy to attack Bloomberg because you know that your base is behind you on most of those attacks. It's harder to attack Bernie. As we will see, Bernie actually had a pretty bad debate last night. Bernie was ranting and raving like the old communist lunatic that he is. But none of that matters because everybody knows that he's an old communist lunatic. Meanwhile, if you had to grade the candidates last night, here's your preliminary grade. So you give Bernie basically a D, but it doesn't matter. Maybe NA is probably the better grade, not applicable, because it really doesn't matter. All he had to do was escape getting destroyed last night, and he basically did. Joe Biden had probably his best debate. His debate basically consisted of him standing there and shouting that he wanted more time to talk into the microphone and then not actually knowing what to say into the microphone. As we will see, it was kind of amusing. He kept doing it over and over and over, but it was Joe Biden trying to demonstrate that he is actually a living, functional human being with a brain that still has occasional flickers of light in it. And then you had Pete Buttigieg, who again turned in a very smooth debate. And the problem for Pete Buttigieg is that the smoothness of his debating skills is not going to make up for the fact that Buttigieg has no national appeal and can't even win his home state of Indiana. You had Amy Klobuchar, who was an also ran. She had a fine debate, but Amy Klobuchar has never been able to generate any electricity on this stage. You had Tom Steyer. Now, it was funny. People last night were tweeting, why are people attacking Tom Steyer? The reason people are attacking Tom Steyer is because Tom Steyer actually has a fairly significant share percentage in South Carolina. Like Steyer's there are only 3 people running in double digits in the Real Clear Politics polling average in South Carolina, Biden, Sanders, and Steyer. Because Steyer has dumped millions upon millions of dollars into South Carolina. That's the reason that Biden was going after Steyer, trying to take away support from Steyer. Steyer had what for him was a fine debate, but obviously he's going nowhere and nowhere fast. So it was a pretty lackluster debate. The moderation has come under a lot of scrutiny because the moderators really did not take control of the debate. As you will see, it was incredibly messy. People could not get a word in edgewise. Everybody was so desperate to talk that you couldn't even get a clean hit in on anyone. If the debate last week was notable because everybody was just sort of spraying each other with bullets, last night was a clown car where everybody was sort of bonking each other with plastic hammers. Right? It was making the sound. That really was the sound on the sound last week was the sound of gunshots. The sound last night was as people hit each other with the little plastic hammers that you get from the arcade. Did you know that every like on this video creates one additional leftist tier? Don't ask me why. That's called science. To take advantage of this amazing opportunity, hit the like button.